was I got out of the shower. I got a dog, and anybody's been around my house knows. Little pup dropped a ball in front of me, and for me to grab the ball, and I'm walking through this little alleyway to get to the bedroom, and I grabbed the ball like this, and he ran, and I was joking, running after him to grab his tail, and what happened was that he slid on a throw rug, and I tripped on the rug he slid on. That's what happened.
Oh, man.
Not very exciting story.
It's the craziest, silliest, most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, actually, and I don't believe it. Sorry, but let's bring in the historians, and they'll tell us, I believe, that presidential candidates and presidents lie all the time about their health condition. We got Doug Wead, presidential historian, author of Inside Trump's White House, and Craig Shirley, Reagan biographer and presidential historian, Newsmax analyst. Welcome to you both. All right, Craig, first, your reaction to Joe Biden's Inspector Clouseau-like ridiculous tripping, falling, whatever the heck happened there.
I think it's a silly over-explanation. I think that there's probably a very simple reason why, but it may involve his age or something like this, but they want to cover it up and deter attention to the dog. You know, presidential health has been covered up from George Washington's teeth to Grover Cleveland getting a prosthetic jaw to remove the cancer he had, FDR in a wheelchair, which really is more complicated. It was more about being polite, not that people didn't know. People did know. But Eisenhower was actually the first president, his first proclamation as president, to announce that the American people would know in real time all of his health maladies. So when he had his heart attacks and his ileitis and his other problems, the American people knew in real time. But of course, they went back with John Kennedy. You know, he covered up his Addison's disease. He covered up his regular shots of cortisone and his many other maladies. So, but since that time, presidential health has been pretty much an open book. It's always a question of whether or not they tell the truth, though.
Yeah, you know, I heard you mentioned Kennedy and his Addison's disease. Doug Wead, did you hear this? That one of the reasons why Lyndon Johnson actually accepted the vice presidency is because he did the math. He did some calculations, and he figured that Kennedy did not have much longer to live. He didn't think he would die of an assassin's bullet, but he was thinking, Doug, that this guy's going to die of something because he's got like 10 things wrong with him.
You know, you're right on the money. I wrote the book, All the President's Children. There's a scene in my book where old Joe Kennedy is in a car and it's snowing outside and he's got the heater going and he's with a friend and they're looking out through the windshield looking at Jack Kennedy shaking hands with factory workers coming out of the factory. And Joe says to his buddy in the car, I never thought I'd see this in a million years. I always thought it would be Joe, who was the oldest son. I thought he was going to do this. Jack is too effeminate and too sickly. There's no way he could do this. So even his own father didn't think he was going to make it.
Wow.
My friends are calling me all the time and writing me and saying, you've disappeared from television. We can't find you. We don't see you anymore. This is the only way we've figured out how to beat the censors. If you subscribe to this channel, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell, you'll get notification when I'm on TV. Otherwise, you won't get my Instagrams, my messages on Facebook. It's censorship. So I want to hear from you. I want you to be able to hear from me.